All right, welcome back, True Gardeners. So today I want to share with you 5 of some of my favorite tropical, tried and true, tough Florida plants that you can use to create a privacy buffer. Now this is a front yard privacy buffer, and I think it has just taken off and created the buffer where you pretty much don't see any neighbors or nosy neighbors, no neighbors at all. It's just a nice side yard wall that isn't a wall, and that's kind of what I want to share with you guys today. The combination of this grouping is going to create a lovely, lovely contrasting type of landscaping where you just don't have a row of this or a row of that. So I'm going to flip this camera around and show you those 5 now. All right, so very first on my list here is the Louisiana red copper leaves. I absolutely love what they're doing on this side here. They're really doing a nice job of camouflaging that big pole there. There were exactly 4 7-gallon Louisiana reds that have created that kind of look right there. Those get trimmed twice a year. Every 6 months they go down to about 4 foot tall again and then flush back out to that 8 to 10 foot height range. So very low maintenance when they're put in the proper spot, because you're really allowed to let them kind of get nice and big. They will get a little stemmy at the bottom, so if this is the way you're planning on using them, kind of bring in an underskirt planting. It could be gold dust crotons like we have here. It could be Sanchisia. It could be something that's kind of just a thick, low growing, dense planting that does not get woody. And for my second plant would be just next to it here, which is the split leaf philodendron. I love the way this softens the edge of this bed. I love the way this really just kind of creates kind of a finale, a little point of interest right at the bottom, and how it drops down and tears down to this. A fantastic low maintenance, tough, tried and true, can handle salt, can handle clay conditions, can handle well draining soil, can handle just so many varieties. It's such a versatile plant, can handle filtered light, full sun. It's just a tough overall plant and offers quick privacy. That's one of the things I love about that. Both of these plants, all of the plants that we're going to talk about today, offer nice, quick privacy, something you can put in at a small size with a small budget and create big pop. It's got kind of that wild and soft look that you're wanting to see in your garden and not have to maintain it and trim it and hedge it. This is going to be a perfect fit for this. However, if you want something more formal fitting, these are not your guys. These guys are going to naturally branch out and widen out over time and over the years. This is going to be a perfect grouping for about 5 to 10 years, and then at that point they start getting too big where you're almost going to just start over. But considering they're easy to source, they're easy to plant, they're easy to get established, I think that having to do that transition about every 5 to 10 years is totally worth it, because you get this such a long-term, soft, low-maintenance plant grouping. The original plant grouping 2 years ago in this area were 4 of these guys. So we had 4 7-gallon. You can really see they've done a nice job of softening the whole end of this buffer as they wrap around to the front, giving this more of a naturalized type of look. So you can see the contrast between these two, I just think are just so stunning. And that leads us into our third tree of choice, would be the Pygmy date palms. I've used Pygmy date palms throughout this bed. I've got them flanking our centerpiece tree here. They grow to 10 to 12 foot tall, so they're never going to be into those power lines there. They're just going to be just a tad bit above and really kind of give you almost like a very soft, palmy, bushy type of feel. I like to keep them natural. A lot of you guys see them in my designs, and they have, they're more fuller and thicker. I tend to really only love to trim my Pygmy date palms about twice a year, keeping them that natural fullness, and I think that just makes for a nice privacy buffer. You can get those in at 25-gallon size, my favorite size to get them in, because by that point they're half grown, they're 5 foot tall. I love the triples. You can get them in multi-stems, singles, but to me my favorite is triples, because you get this broadening effect, this just nice big wide cluster of fronds. And what's great about that is I don't have to ever worry about my trees getting into that canopy right there. They're going to stay just above that here. So perfect area, usually right in your eye line for buffering. Now they are great for filtered privacy. You know, you're going to see through them a tad bit, but I really do think they do a nice job of kind of giving you a concealment, a nice big grouping here. Now, if you want a solid wall, you're going to have to do an underplanting, kind of like you see here in this grouping, where the gold dust crotons have become the skirt, and then you have the palm tree above it. As long as you're okay with that, then I think those 2 tiers work so nicely. Just look at the way those 3 kind of come together, where you've got the Louisiana red copper leaves at the back, the Pygmy date palm has that kind of center thickness, and then down below, just down below, we have maybe 3 or 4 of the gold dust crotons, kind of giving you a final ground cover or a lower tier effect covering the trunks of that tree. My 4th favorite plant is, surprise, surprise, Clusia. We have originally 6 15-gallon Clusia were planted. That was to create a wall behind this tree. Now, I didn't want anything to interrupt this tree while it was young, so what we did is we created something that was more of a flat point. So Clusia do a fantastic job of that. A couple foot off of the property line and let them get kind of nice and dense as a wall, and then you can do something a little wild, pulled forward like the Pygmy date palms I have on either side, and then to the back we have a little clustering again of the Louisiana red copperleaves. Those are some of my favorites to work with in a garden, and I think pulled together in this type of combination, they work so well together. And lastly, but certainly not least, the Brazilian red cloaks. I absolutely love these plants. They work so well in so many different combinations, but I truly do love them in this particular one. Circling around this Christmas palm, kind of covering up those bases. I know a lot of people don't like the trunks of trees as those trees get a nice size to them because they kind of lose the impact, but if you have something thick and dense wrapping around those bases, it kind of really brings a nice underplanting to those canopies, drawing your eye to both sections, making the tree feel less large, kind of taking up some of that space. They make a perfect intermediate tier and really offer tons and tons and tons of color. I mean, we're in February right now, and this is the color this plant's giving off. So almost all year long, you're getting gorgeous, gorgeous color. This is a filtered light situation, so they get some morning sun, midday sun, and then this is kind of what they're offering. There was originally 5 of these guys planted at 7-gallon size. Now you can obviously pare this back. If you really wanted to keep this inside the window line, you could do 3. You can put 1 on either side of the trunks there and 1 to the middle and let those 3 connect, but we really wanted a big grouping because this is a garage wall and there was no reason to leave an opening there. So I really do think they did a nice job of kind of softening what is naturally a very white house with 2 simple windows. All right, you guys, so those are 5 of some of my favorites that I love to incorporate into our Florida landscapes because of their toughness and their durability. If this is a look that you like, then you are in luck because we did a full garden tour of this particular front yard, kind of how we created it, kind of really some key points of how to recreate it. So if this is your thing, check out that video. It will be in next week's video lineup. Thank you so much. Really enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys next week.